Alright, so while that was drying a little bit, I thought I would show you two of the tool accessories that comes with the fragment. Okay, so I haven't even opened them yet. Alright, so this is some little organizing trays if you want to play around with different colors. Alright, so we can figure out what colors we're going to play around with. Alright, and then they have another set of tools here that you could, if you wanted to just use the one, right, you can easily put it in here, sprinkle it onto your project where you want it, and then what's really nice is that you can also use it as like a funnel to put it back in when you're done, right? And then there's little spoon here that if you wanted to pour it in that way, you want to move them around a little bit, you know, you can definitely use this. Not quite sure about this silicone tip scraper tool. Again, if you need to scrape anything, then I guess it'll come in handy for that. Alright, so I'm not sure if we're going to use green here, but that's the first color I grabbed. So we definitely want to use some black. I don't know how much we're going to use. And a bit of yellow. And the orange for sure. Right, and these are nice because I played around with some of the other ones from the dollar store, the mirror ones, and they are sharp. So it is nice that these, you know, you can put them in your hand and squish it and you'll be fine. Like, I mean, it's pretty gentle there. Okay, so then there's also like a soft, colors on the top, pink. But it's very soft. So I just got to pull some out just to kind of show you some of the colors here that we can play with. And then there's also more of a turquoisey kind of color. And you can put a bit of that into your background if you want, with some green. And then the brighter green too, if you want to put a little bit of that in there. And then there's also the gold and silver that's really cool too, that maybe we'll pop a little bit of gold in there. Okay, so you can definitely play around with a couple varieties. Products, and then of course there's a little tweezer here that if you want to pick them up, because these ones, some of them don't have the mirror on both sides, some of them do. So if you can see that there's a little darker spots there, right, so they're a mirror on one side and color on the other side. So the mirror helps to let the translucent color shine a little bit more. Alright, so if you don't like the dark sides of the mirror showing, then you just have to kind of flip them over. But it's nice to have a bit of contrast. Okay, so then we have our colors kind of picked out. And then what comes with those fragment pieces is the glass binder and sealer. Okay, so it's going to help seal it. Glue dries clear, shake gently for about 15 seconds, spread a thin layer on the surface before applying the chips. and add glass where it's wet, so it'll stick where it's wet. But I've also seen Donna just put them where she wants it and then just pour this over it, and then you can move it around to make sure that the glue and sealer is going to be getting underneath them as well, not just sitting, there's no dry spots underneath them. So definitely, you know, this is nice to be able to stir it around. If you want to move your glue, right, so I'll show you when I play with it. Maybe it's spreading out too much and you want to kind of, you know, thin it out a little bit and spread it out, then this will kind of come in handy for that. Okay, so I'm gonna try and show you guys as close as I can here. Still deciding which way I want this to go. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be up in the top left corner. Okay, so this is all nice and dry. So I want to just play around with the illusion first to see how I like it before I start pouring it on. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of black in there. And I want to put a few, I'm using my fingers, I'm going to put a bit of gold in there, give it some nice pop. Okay, so you can play around with your ratio. You know, do you want more gold? Do you want more black? Right. Then some of them are a little bit smaller too, so you can get a little fussy and try to... Right, do I want to do the whole corner? Do I want to do it like in a little circle? There's some that are too big, you can always pull them out. Okay, so hopefully you guys are seeing in the corner there. So it's black on black, so you don't really see the black too much. So yeah, just play it around with the silver or the gold. Put a few in there, here and there. Okay, so I want them a little bit tighter together and then maybe spread them out a little bit more. Okay, so play around with a bit of the orange. Maybe just here and there, and not in the textured area, in front of it. Right, so you can even put more lighter colors. A little bit in this darker area. A few yellow. Get more orange. So that's why I left this band here, so that we can play around with a little bit more texture here. See how that looks. Maybe put in a couple black over here. Yeah, and then you could just take a look at them when they fall. Right, so if there's any you don't like. Donna was just picking them up and letting them fall. Hopefully they turn around on you. Right, the mirror should be down, I guess, so that you can see the prism come through. Right, they don't all have to be. Press on it. There you go, I can make them flip that way. Let's grab the edge. Yeah, I think I like them a little bit more flipped over. It's still playing. Yeah, maybe a little bit more like a circle. That was like got two pieces stuck together. Alright, what do you think, guys? Should we commit? I definitely like that. Okay, so again, you can always play with the illusion of a few along, you know, the sides here if you want. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so this is where you gotta separate them again if you mix them and you don't want to use them. Okay. Kind of looks like the little seeds. Maybe we'll use these over here. Okay. Alright, so that's enough playing there. Okay, so there's a seal in there. You just have to open the seal. And then you're just going to dribble this all inside the rocks. Just little tiny drops. Alright, so you definitely want to make sure you get them all surrounded. And you'll have to leave this flat. Oop. See, this is where you can squeegee over. Okay, so it looks like cereal, guys. It's kind of drowning in the milk. And it looks a little bit whitish. Okay, so you just wipe that on a towel too. Right, so just kind of touching them so that, make sure that there's no dry spots. They're all swimming in there nicely. And then add a bit more if you need it. Okay, so they're pretty good. You can still flip things over. Now, if you really wanted to put some on the side of your canvas, you're gonna have to wait till this is dry and then lean it against something so it's on its side. And then if you got it level enough, then you might be able to steady it enough to let it dry on its side. And so just try to make sure that they're all kind of sitting the way I like. Not enough yellow, maybe add a bit more. It's hard to take them away once you got them in the glue. So definitely try to think about that, right? Always leave room for more. If you want it. Yeah, I can't wait to see this dry, guys. Look at all that nice glitter. Ooh, don't do that. It could be a sealer, right? I could just kind of, let's see, it might add extra shine to something because you don't know how glossy this is compared to your painting, right? Because a lot of the modeling pastes actually, sometimes they're very matte color. So this might look shinier than your paint. So just know that you could go ahead and put a sealer over the whole thing if you want. This looks like it could be, you know, a sealer as well. So if you wanted to use this and brush it on everywhere after, but just make sure that all of your paste is dry on your edges. So this is still really wet in some spots. So I'm gonna wait till this is dry and then I will go and add some more sealer. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining me for this multimedia sunflower, because that's definitely a lot different than my other sunflower that we did, which I called oversized because it was flowing over the edges, and I had two canvases that we kind of spilled together. I'll throw in a picture here for you guys so you can see that one. And then again, I will probably still play with this a little bit, like wait till it's really good and dry. And then, you know, if I still feel like I can get a little thicker edge somewhere, you know, I might do that. I might have hit a couple of them. But I really got some nice texture, added a little bit more into the corners here. And yeah, definitely out of our comfort zone a little bit. And then when it's really, like I said, when it's really good and dry, guys, you could always come back in and, you know, grab a little bit of brown or whatever you need to fix up some touch-ups. Oops, let's get some green in there. All done. Okay, so just keep it flat for God knows how long. But it says 24 hours. Alright, so forget about it for the day and come back tomorrow and you'll see the beautiful results of it. And the sun's on it really good. Oh, don't do that. I just spilled it over the edge. Okay, so the excess is coming off one way or another. Alright, so I just tipped it again. So that's how much kind of dripped out. I'm going to grab a brush. Oops. And use it. It's very runny. Very runny. I'm just trying to put it where I know it's dry. Okay, so we're going to wait a good 24 hours and see how you do with, if you feel like it needs a little bit more stability, then you can always dribble a few more drops on top of any of them. Or add more. Okay, so make sure you wash your brushes right away with soap and water with any of the products. Make sure that your brushes don't get all hard. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And there it is. Look at the shine on there, guys. It's like so awesome. Oh my God. I am just so impressed with this sealer, guys. Oh my God. There's no brush strokes in it. Doesn't matter if you flip-flop it around. Brush it straight across. I mean, I swear, you can't even tell. Like, I just literally just... And it's a very light coat. Very uber light coat. This stuff is so running, right? So earlier I got myself in trouble with it. So definitely moving it around after you do it is going to be a little tricky. So you're just best to grab a spot where it's gonna live for the night. All right, so I had to make sure that my cats were like even kicked out of the room and close the door on them. So yeah, definitely, guys, when it was all good and dry, I went and played around a little bit more. I'm not sure if you're gonna see this. Is so bright here with the lights. All right, so yeah, definitely I am loving it. So with the spills, it wasn't as thick. Remember the first pull that I had created with the glue? Definitely that would have took a lot longer to dry. All right, so I don't know if we needed that much anyways, but just for insurance, I did go over it again and added more dribbles in there, and then at the same time I just went ahead and put a sealer coat over the whole thing, so that way the shine differences wouldn't be, you know, any different. Right, because it would be definitely a lot shinier here where I spilt it all and then not very shiny here at all. So I definitely was almost forced to kind of go over it with the whole product, over the whole canvas. And but I am delighted with it. Oh my God, I'm gonna order more just for sealer. It is just amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if you guys haven't jumped on this yet, then definitely you can order the fragment pieces through Donna Dewberry, www.onestroke.com, and see what you need for colors, or if she's got another special on the whole batch again, I'm not sure. You'll have to investigate and or email Amanda, her daughter. So yeah, I am totally impressed with this, guys. I am so in love with it, and I hope that you guys will jump on the project. It is a 3-day, not whole days, but definitely taking the day to let things dry, right? So play a little bit, then let it dry, and then go back to it. And yeah, so with a palette knife, and you know, with extra texture on there created by the super thick paint. Like, I mean, it is just amazing stuff, guys. I am having so much fun with it, and I thought I would just share a little bit of some of the process with you guys, with adding these fragment pieces here, and then also the finished results of what I really think about it all. So happy creating, guys. I can't wait to see your paintings. If you need more help with your stroke work, please give me a call. Definitely message me, email me. You can see the links down below, and I'd love to chat with you, meet you on Zoom for a private class if that's what you need to. All right, see you soon at the next project.